Facebook and Instagram. How are you guys today? It's getting on there. There we go. Hey, Facebook. Hi. We're trying to go live over on Instagram, so just give me a moment over here. All right. Welcome, friends. Happy hey Instagram. Hey, happy St. Patty's Day. Oh my, it's been a day already. Anybody else feel that way? Um, we are, it's cloudy and gloomy and I don't know, just feels tired. It feels like a tired day. Hey, Erica. But anyway, we're talking about sleep today, right? And let me fix that curtain because that's gonna bother my eyes the whole time. We're gonna talk about sleep. We are going to keep this fairly short and sweet, so that way you guys can get on with your day. I will say that if you head on over to essentialseveryday.com and you click on Hot Topics, there is a whole sleep page there that you can get information on sleep. And this has kind of been curated by myself and my husband. He's done a lot of different research, as have I. But anyway, let's talk about, let's give some disclaimers like I like to do, okay? So first of all, when we talk about using oils, I'm talking about using doTERRA oils because they are the most pure, the most potent. You're actually going to get additional benefits besides just smelling them, besides just taking them, using them. You're going to get a therapeutic benefit from using these oils, okay? So doTERRA oils are sourced all over the world, and what I love so much about doTERRA is that they do source globally. So I'll let you guys see my eyes a little bit better. We source all over the world, and what that means is that instead of having like greenhouses and hothouses and gardens here in the States, we look all over the world, all over, and find the best plants available. And then we test them and make sure that we're going to get a really high quality essential oil out of it. And then we actually partner with individuals, with family farms, with specific people groups. We hire people and we will actually hire them to work those farms and they still own them, which is amazing, right? And then they work those farms and they grow the product for us, grow the plant for us. And what that means is that instead of me coming in who has no essential oil or plant knowledge and taking over, we leave it up to them. And then instead of hiring a middleman to take the plant to the distiller, we either distill it right there or we just go in directly and buy it from them. So what this means is that you're cutting out the middleman, which is where all of the deception and corruption happens, whether it's not paying the farmers correctly, amount, underwage, never. And a lot of times that middleman will actually take the best oil off the top and actually dilute down that oil or add things to it. So you're actually not getting completely pure oil, or you're not getting 100% peppermint, or you're not getting the best peppermint, okay? So we cut all of that out. And what happened is that we really empower the farmers. We really empower those growers. We add jobs that pay above market value. We actually give them raises every year and a lot of other things that go into the farms where we grow. Schools and protection and empowerment to women. I actually in our frankincense growers are actually a couple different tribes that have never gotten along before, and through our sourcing frankincense, now they actually can do this together. It's so much more than just this essential oil, just this oil that I have in my hand here. So there's lots of reasons that I love doTERRA, but that is one of the huge ones. And you can find a ton more information at Healing Hands, doTERRA Healing Hands. Okay, I'll try to link those sites up for you guys too on Instagram and Facebook, and then over on YouTube I'll connect you there as well. All right, so I wanted to, this is kind of different, a different class, but this is my supplement case. Okay, so when I think of sleeping better, it is more than just an oil, which you guys thought you were going to get as an oil class, right? Well, you are, but it's more than just an oil. So when I started using oils almost 7 years ago, I knew nothing about oils. I knew nothing about non-toxic living, taking better care of myself. I didn't know why some supplements were better than others. Well, now I know, okay? So when I started, I was a fairly young mom, meaning that I had young kids, okay? And my youngest was less than 2 years, so my body was still going through a lot of hormonal changes from nursing and things like that for a year. And then aging and all that. Like, your body just is constantly going through changes as a woman, right? So I started taking, I started with oils first, which I'll talk about one of the oils that I started with for sure. But I started with the Lifelong Vitality Pack not long into my journey because I thought, well, I'm teaching about these. I might as well take them and see why, why I'm telling other people to take them, right? Well, immediately I noticed things like my hair and nails started growing like crazy, right? So fast, so strong. My sleep patterns, that was a really, really big one that changed because I'm a night owl. But what happened is I started to get tired earlier and fall asleep earlier, which was amazing. I would wake up more rested. The brain fog, the clarity, like that kind of like you feel like you're living, over here, like looking at your life, that started to go away. Daily aches and pains go away. Digestion, that was a huge draw for me getting started with oils was digestion. That started to improve. There's so many things because of the essential oils that are in here, the whole foods, vitamins, minerals, nutrients that are in here, your omega-3, 6, and 9, the alpha CRS and what it contains with mitochondria production. There's so much that goes into the Lifelong Vitality Pack, okay? And the Lifelong Vitality Pack is the #1 bestseller with doTERRA. And the reason is because of all the things that I just said. People have amazing stories using the Lifelong Vitality Pack. One of my best friends just shared yesterday when she started using doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack. She went from taking major naps a day. She actually went and got tested for an autoimmune disorder or a iron deficiency, and took a nap while she was waiting. Like, she took so many naps a day. I convinced her to start on the Lifelong Vitality Pack because it was a free, like a money back guarantee. And she's like, well, I mean, what can it hurt? And she was like, it's a night and day difference. Okay. All other things like Aunt Flo, when she comes, you'll notice that it's either lighter, your cramps are less, what's the word? Long term, like the amount of days that you have your period will go slower. There's lots of things, okay? So here is my supplements. Now, I don't want to spill them, but there's so many in here, right? So on this side is the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And my husband takes them, and so do my 2 older boys. My daughter doesn't like pills yet, so she doesn't take them. But what else is in here is, this is a major one right here. So this little guy, and I actually did a whole video on this, is the Serenity Soft Gels. So Serenity Oil is a blend of things like Roman chamomile, lavender, cedarwood, vetiver, vanilla bean, absolute. What else is in there? I can't think of it right off the top of my back. But it is really helpful for helping your brain to calm down, to relax. A lot of people will use it for anxiety and stress, but you can also use it for sleep. Now, the cool thing about oils is that they don't put you in like a comatose state. So I use Serenity a lot when I was first starting with oils, and it never like made me feel drugged. It never made me feel like I couldn't wake up in the middle of the night and go put the kid back to sleep or change a wet bedding or whatever. So that's the cool thing. So you can take them during the day if you're stressed or whatever, and still feel like you can function. Okay, but it helps you go to sleep. It helps you stay asleep, and there's actually science behind using a diffuser to help you stay asleep longer. So if your problem is that you can't fall asleep, then there's oils for that. If your problem is that you can't stay asleep, I would suggest a diffuser for sure. If your problem is that, we're going to go through like if your body has aches and pains, or if you can't breathe, or if hormones are related. There's a lot of different ways. It's usually not that, generally, it's not that you can't sleep, right? Because a body it requires sleep. It's that there's something else underlying. There's a root cause that's causing you not to sleep, okay? So back to these Serenity soft gels. So Serenity oil, you cannot take internally just because there's some oils in there that aren't made for internal use. But the Serenity soft gels are actually an herbal complex that has some of the similar, like lavender, you can take internally. But then it has some herbs included that are actually beneficial for your neurological system and help your brain to relax. Giving it proper nutrients so that it can function correctly. And then it actually just helps your body rest and relax. And what happens is that you actually wake up the next day more rested because the inside of your body, besides just your brain or your eyeballs and your body, it feels rested and it got sleep. Okay? So 1 to 2 of those in the evening, right before you go to bed, generally 30 minutes. I don't always know when I'm going to go to bed. I don't plan that. So I just take it right before I go to bed. There is an alternate benefit to these Serenity soft gels. If you have an anaphylactic reaction to something outside and you need some support in your body, Serenity soft gels are awesome for that. Seasonal support, awesome for that. Or if you just want something to help you feel calm and relaxed during the day, Serenity soft gels are awesome. Okay, so that's one of my absolute favorites. Now let's get into a couple other ones. Based on, we're going to go through a couple different types of sleep that you want to get, or reasons that maybe that you're not sleeping. Okay, so one of them is pain. This is a huge, this is a hot topic over on my blog, on my website. So if you want to read more about that, it's over there under pain. It is one of the number one reasons that people can't sleep, people feel awful, they're stressed. It ties into everything. Stress, sleep, and anxiety are like the 3 major issues in America, right? So if you can't sleep because of pain, I want to suggest the Copaiba soft gels. So what I would do is actually take one of these along with the Serenity soft gels before you go to bed. So this is the cool thing is that, like, deep blue polyphenols has a little bit of ginseng in there. So if you are super sensitive, you don't want to take that right before you go to bed, or some of the supplements, okay? Copaiba is actually, it's the prince, if you remember from last week, it's the prince of oils. So there's just Copaiba oil in these little soft gels. And it's going to help with so many different functions in your body, neurologically, cardiovascular, respiratory, immune, like brain support. So if you are having a problem with pain and that's why you can't fall asleep, this is going to help support your body so that you can rest better, okay? Another tip to use before you go to bed if pain is the thing. A lot of people have restless leg or they just hurt in general. If you are one of those that work or on your feet for your work during the day, I would highly suggest grabbing some Deep Blue and Aroma Touch, maybe even Copaiba oil, So you take a little deep blue in your palm, add some aromatouch, drop or two, add some copaiba, and then massage that into your feet and your calves and your legs. And it is the best feeling to go to sleep and your legs are comfortable. Okay, so you're not tossing and turning because you can't get comfortable. That is one of the best feelings ever. Okay, so deep blue and aromatouch, copaiba, serenity, the serenity soft gels. Now, if you are, if one of the reasons that you can't fall asleep is because of breathing, like you have a hard time breathing when you fall asleep. Some of my favorites are to roll, I think it's in here somewhere, but I won't, oh yeah, there's one of them, is to actually roll melaleuca or tea tree. It's the same thing. Some of you are familiar with one or the other. I roll tea tree over my nostrils and my sinuses, a little bit under my nose, and then down my adrenals. I do that in the morning a lot, but it's also if you have a hard time breathing during the day or at night, that one's a really great one. Breathe is our respiratory blend, and this is a really great one for anything respiratory. So putting this in your diffuser, you can put it in there along with Serenity. So you've got the sleep aspect, you've got the breathing aspect, or you can actually roll this on your sinuses, roll a little bit under your nose or right on your lip. If it makes you yucky to have it rolled right on your nose, it's okay. Some people get weird, grossed out about that. Already I'm breathing better. Oh my gosh. Now, I would also suggest putting it on your chest because this is where, see all that oil? You're going to get that respiratory benefit on your chest, but you're also going to breathe that in. Okay. I was actually stuffed up today. You guys, the allergies, I think, are already starting this year. And the rain kind of messes with it, right? Okay, so Serenity or Breathe is amazing. Things like eucalyptus, peppermint maybe not because it's a little bit more of like a pick-me-up, but eucalyptus, Breathe, tea tree, cypress, Siberian fir, those are all going to be really to improve the quality of the air in the room, to open up your respiratory system, to help you breathe better as you are falling asleep. So I would definitely put some of those respiratory oils on you as well as putting them in the diffuser. Now, one thing that I kind of forget sometimes is that how your feet have, oh, now I can't remember the word. You guys, I'm always forgetting the word. I should have put my finger on. Anyway, they have connections to the rest of your body, right? And your big toe actually connects to your respiratory system. So putting that Breathe oil on your big toe, okay? And I actually have the coolest story. I did this. My daughter was like 2, and we were in a different town, a different city, and she had kind of a coughing attack. And we were getting ready. I think she had a cold or something. We were getting ready to go to the movies, though, and I didn't want her coughing the whole time we were in the movies. So I took my Breathe, and I just put it on the bottom of her toe, and then we had to walk like a block to the movie theater. And by the time we got there, she was completely calmed down. Like her respiratory system was so supported by those oils that she really was good the rest of the time. So crazy. Those fast acting stories of oils, I'm always like, whoa, like it's crazy, right? Okay. Now, the other one is if your brain has a hard time like if you have a racing brain and you can't slow down at the end of the day. You can't, your brain is either anxious or overwhelmed or it's just got a ton of stuff in it that is just constantly going. And so you can't actually fall asleep because you can't turn your brain off. I want to suggest vetiver. Vetiver is the top one. It's in our Intune. It is a really great one for helping you focus. If you are, like for me, I have a hard time focusing when I'm, working. I get distracted by things. But also, the reason that it helps you focus is it cuts out the noise of all the other things that are going on. when you're trying to sleep, vetiver is great because it calms your brain down. It's in the Serenity blend, and it calms your brain down so you can actually fall asleep. Okay. I actually shared yesterday a tip. If you use the root to tip serum, once you have an empty bottle, just take your vetiver, because it's really hard to get out of the roller. It's really thick and sticky. It's a root. So I pour it in here, and then you just pump a little bit out. And it's great for application. So applying it to your wrists, because that's where the blood is close to your skin, and then it absorbs into your skin and circulates through your body. Also, the back of your neck to the muscle band is right where the blood flow to your brain is at. A lot of people actually love to just place one drop on the crown of their head. And then some other ones that I love for sleep, obviously, and these are both blends that doTERRA has. So Serenity blend and the Peace blend. Okay. These are both super helpful and very calming and relaxing. Now, like I said before, those two oils blends can actually be used for like calming and anxiety and things like that during the day too. So super helpful. Okay. All right. So I think that was the most of them. Now, there's lots of other oils that you can use and play around with. So anytime that I suggest something, it's based on what is helpful for most people. However, our bodies are all different, right? So lavender is one that a lot of people, lavender is one that a lot of people love for sleep and relaxation. It wires my daughter, so we can't use that for her. So everybody's body is different. So if one oil doesn't work for you, don't give up, right? Because one medication doesn't work, we don't just throw out all medicine in general, right? It's the same with oils. You have to find something that works best for your body and your body composition, okay? So if you want a list, a protocol, some other oils that might be helpful, head on over to essentialseveryday.com and click on Hot Topics and Sleep and read through that. Scroll down. There's a button at the bottom that you can get that free printable, and I'll send that to you as my gift for watching today. If you think this class would be helpful, if you would share it or link or tag your friend, that would be awesome, because I'm sure there's somebody that could benefit from sleep and relaxation. If you were watching on YouTube, thank you, and would you subscribe to my channel? I would really appreciate that. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll be back next week with our top 10 oils class. So I will see you guys then.